Welcome to episode 2 of Raw and Real with TLC. The Raw and Real this time is about me and my journey from therapy to non-therapy and with no therapy before therapy, and the TLC will come at the end. So I'm bringing this up as somebody who's first generation American, and because I'm a Gen Xer who at that time, you sucked it up and you just pushed through it. I'm also the oldest of 5, and I went to Catholic school. So the things that we're taught in Catholic school is to pray. And there's nothing wrong with that. I pray every morning and throughout the day in different ways. And there's a lot of great things to ask family for support and help, but a lot of times that's not always the best thing, because sometimes they're coming from their perspective. And even though it may be coming from a place of love, their version of love, it may not be one of the definition of love where you feel the patience and the kindness that you need. And instead, it can also come with what they were taught, and especially if there's some religion in there, of the suffering. Okay? And even though suffering is a part of life, we all experience suffering, there's also this part that's called the thriving. So there's the surviving and the thriving. And as somebody who has been diagnosed with PTSD, and as somebody who also has ADHD, I'm saying LMNOP, it doesn't even matter. But the point is that there hasn't been a place for those feelings to be. Just be, all of them. Not judge, not criticize, not demonize, not shut down, not push down, but a place for them to be held precious. And that's what you are, precious. In case nobody's told you that lately, you are precious. This heart of yours is precious. So it's no wonder that you're distracting yourself by taking care of everybody else. It's no wonder that you're distracting yourself consciously or unconsciously by doom scrolling, right? By constantly being on. It's no wonder. You are taking care of that precious heart, because what happens if you pause? If you pause, those feelings that are a little bit messy or big messy will show up. As someone told me one time, Bernadette, if I pause, I'm going to cry. As if that's a sin. Crying is natural and normal. If not, why would we have that in our body? It's a signal. It's a cleansing. It's an information. It's signaling to say, hey, something is hurting here. Or it may be joy and delight. Yes, that is possible too, believe it or not. I couldn't understand it for the longest time, because when I would be crying, it would be because I'm a mess and I feel like I failed and I feel like I was disappointment, and I was like disappointing and hurting everybody else. Even though that wasn't my intention, people would be hurt because I would say no, or because I would try to take care of myself. And I'm not even talking about going to the spa or doing my nails or any of that kind of stuff. I'm talking about just saying no and having boundaries. So there's a lot of mixed up stuff. Let's get to the raw and real of it. The raw and real of it was, I grew up with not even knowing what therapy was. Now, before I move forward, this isn't about telling people to go to therapy or not go to therapy. This is telling you my story in relationship to therapy and how I will never become a therapist. Not because therapists are bad. I'm not saying that, right? In every profession, there are people who can be really helpful and people can be really just not so helpful. I'm just going to leave it at that. That's not what this is about. This is about my journey of how, when I was younger, I'd always be curious and be watching how people act and interact with each other. But more importantly, how I would react when I would be around certain people. And I was never myself. I didn't even know what myself was at one point. For the longest time as an adult, I'm like, and I should. I became a teacher. Shouldn't I know who I am? Oh, I'm a teacher. And that was my role. And I stuck with that role. Oh, I'm a mother. Okay, I'm a mother. And I stuck with that role. Oh, I'm a daughter. And I'm a wife, and I'm a sister, and I'm a friend. In all of those different roles, however, I was taking care of everyone else. So going back again to the 90s, when I was in college, I took an intro to psychology class. Never heard of it. No one in my life is a therapist. No one in my life I was the first in my family to go to college, first to get my master's degree. And I'm not saying that to show off, but just to say, again, that's where I was learning. I was always curious, and I hope that you're continuing to be curious too, and curious where I'm going with all this. So I remember sitting there in class and learning that psychology had to do with the study of the mind, right? That's the thought that's up here, all these thinking things. And then remember the DSM-R, right? It's this diagnostic manual saying about all these types of mental illnesses. I remember sharing that with my family and getting excited about that. But again, being the first in my family to go to college, it was hard to have those conversations. And there was like this loss there because I wanted them to get excited about it. I wanted them to understand. And my mom was so big on having all 5 of us go to college, especially because she didn't go to college. And she knew that, education is so powerful. But it started to put this gap between us, and it pained my heart. I do remember my mom saying that we were not allowed in our house to say the word loco. Loco in Spanish means crazy. And as first generation Chilean, saying that in the Chilean culture meant that it was like a condescension. It meant in a very, very nasty way. And it was such a disrespect for people who were struggling with their minds, struggling with their thoughts. In her culture, and for my father, who I'm 4th generation Irish German American, we didn't do that. If you went to therapy, you were local, you were crazy. It was to help those kinds of people. There was a fear around going to therapy because if not, it might be put on your permanent record and it will follow you if you try to get jobs. If you went there, it would look like you're weak. If you went there, it would be telling the family secrets and it would get out. Okay? It didn't matter that I told them how therapy was a safe space, that there is a law that protects that. But there was no trust in that. And I totally understand that. Then I didn't. Now I do. So that's where I come in the work that I do. I'm not a therapist. I will never be a therapist. Not because therapy hasn't helped me and it has helped my kids. It has a lot. But a lot of the therapy had to do with my head space. Okay? The work that I do has to do with the heart space. So, some more raw and real. I've been diagnosed with PTSD. And with that came a lot of that diagnosis of here. Well, you have this because da 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 da. Okay, the intellectualization of why I act and react the way that I do. And it was so helpful. I love it and I appreciate it. And I have a therapist right now who I love, love, love. She specializes in trauma-informed therapy. That's her specialization. So there's different kinds of therapy and different kinds of therapists, and I didn't know that either. And that's a whole journey that we can get into, and how some therapists wanted me to stay with the father of my children, who was actually emotionally and psychologically abusive. And I didn't even know that word existed at the time. I didn't know that I was being abused, So there's things I learned, even though I had my master's degree, it didn't matter. So I'm sharing these things with you, and there may be some things I'm saying to you that are hitting you. I have great therapists that I can recommend, and I also have space waiting for you. So if you need the diagnosis, right, and you want to know the why, and there's some practices that they use, there's EMDR, there's cognitive behavior therapy, there's all kinds of things that can be done, and I've experienced some of them, and I can share that with you as well. I want to make sure that people get help. And if you're not ready for that, or if you are just looking for someone to be a side by side, a guide on the side with you, that's me. I'm here for those parts that share with you, the parts of me that share with you my lived experience, not for you to fix me, not for you to criticize, demonize, or judge me, but so you can see that I'm here with you. Therapists aren't allowed to do that. Therapists, they have to tell you what they see and observe. That's their job, and give you some recommendations. For me, I'm education-based, And I go first, not meaning that I know more than you, but I am sharing with you my emotional truth and my raw and real journey so that you will feel safe to share your raw and real journey so that together we can be, not do, not fix, not solve those unpleasant, messy, uncomfortable feelings that have been trained to be pushed down and to be shoved so far down that you don't even allow yourself to feel them anymore. And that can be very scary. So, there's a couple of things. Here's the TLC part. The TLC part is this. First, let's have a little 20-minute get to know each other session. It's on me, okay? Then, after we do that, we create a plan. The work that I do is transparent. It is not, I don't want to be one of these gimmicky, hidey people things. So you can do a private session with me. Totally fine. Okay. And for the month of December 2025, we have a week left. You can do that, pay what you can. However, okay, come 2026, the prices go up. I highly suggest, and this is what I'm trying to get people to do, is a 3-session package with me. A 3-session package is starting very basic education, calling Feeling Free. In Feeling Free, we're going to sit together because the present moment is where you feel alive. The present moment is the self-acceptance of yourself as you are, how you are. And when you can do that, it's easier to relate to others and they're not so draining anymore. Wait a second, is that true, Brent? Yes, it is. Okay, but you can't step into this space trying to figure it out by yourself because then you're back here in your head and you're having a hard time with your heart. There's these practices that I will help you, these tools. So it's time to feel free. Free to be you in all areas of your life. I'm so excited for you. But we need at least 3 sessions together. Okay, so you have that first one, 20-minute, complimentary, let's get to know each other. Then there's these 3. In these 3, we're going to talk about, educate, have some awareness around why you feel how you feel. We're going to pull the curtains back. We're going to give you the things that you need to empower you so you can have some more self-acceptance of yourself as you are, how you are in all areas of your life. That's going to help you, not just with yourself, but with communication with others. And you're not going to feel so much heaviness. You're going to feel a lot more lighter. You're going to feel you again, a little spark. So, if that sounds good to you, come aboard. Come on over. And I highly, highly, highly suggest in January, I'm going to be doing a special. There's an 8-session program, Ripples to Emotional Recovery. You are not an emotional mess. It's okay if you feel like you are right now, but let's get some balance in that. It's 8 sessions. And just for January, usually it's a lot more, about $700 something, but I'm offering it for $555. You get a book, you get 8 sessions in a group, and I can only take 8 people. That number 8 is pretty special. And what we would do is meet online, and I can give you that information as well. That's going to be on my Linktree, that's going to be on Eventbrite. Follow for both of them, and if you want to be part of my newsletter, I have that go out, and there'll be information in that as well. Or just reach out to me. Either way, even if you want to just do a complimentary, come on over. I can give you a little bit of loving. Okay? You deserve that. You deserve to have a space for you to feel free, to feel you and just be. You know how to do. You do the do very well. You're doing every day. You may not even know how to pause or how to relax. I understand. You don't even know how to rest. Been there, done that. So, if you're ready to feel free, come join me. You can start small. You matter. Here is the hug for me and a hug for you and some love with whatever you're doing. Take good care. You matter.